大家好，欢迎来到即刻英语 Last Minute English. I'm Sarah.
Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Francis.
今天呢，我们要讨论的是中外男神。Francis,很多女粉丝都给我们留言说，如果你没有了胡子，会帅很多哦。对于这个问题，你怎么看呢？
Well, yeah, many people have been telling me that for many years, Sarah. Not just our fans. In all of my 10 years in China, I lost track of the number of times people said, well, if you shaved your beard, you'd be much more handsome. But honestly, the truth is, I don't think so. And that's for two reasons. The first one is that I like my beard. And I think my face underneath the beard is a little bit different and not very good looking. So I want to keep my beard to hide my real face. But also in Western countries, particularly in the UK, in America, beards are a little bit more fashionable and more common now compared to in China. And that, Sarah, is kind of why we've decided to talk about our topic for today, right?
对的哦，原来在西方啊，胡子还是一种比较时尚的一个外貌特征，但是对于我们中国人来说，就不是这样了。那我们现在先来看一看，我们中国女性认为的就是其中的3个男神好吗 ？Francis, the first one is 吴彦祖 Daniel Wu，说他看起来给人感觉就是像混血儿，你会怎么说？用英语
？So I would say that he looks, you would say mixed race. So you wouldn't say like mixed blood or something like that. You'd say mixed race. That would be the more polite way to say it.
How would you put it in a sentence?
Well, the first thing to say is we probably wouldn't directly say, oh, you look mixed race, because he would find it kind of personal. It would be a very personal thing. Generally, actually, it's a good thing not to say to someone's face like something about their appearance, because people can get very sensitive. But yeah, I would say I think Daniel Wu, I think he might be mixed race. So it's an adjective.
好的，然后另外呢，他可能就是看起来就是浓眉大眼的，就是他的五官非常的突出，你会怎么说呢？
It's a good question. I think so. You can say he has sharp facial features, he has a very sharp, like a chin and his nose, and he's pretty handsome. How old is Daniel Wu, Sarah?
I think right now he might be in his late 40s. I cannot remember.
Late 40s? Oh, wow. Okay. And what do you think? Let me ask you this question. You've been asking me lots of questions. Okay. What for you is too old? For you personally, would late 40s be too old for you to think that this guy's very handsome?
I think for me it would be over 50.
Oh really? Wow, that's pretty old.
Because I'm already I'm 30 something.
So very secretly said 30 something. I'm also 30 something.
So that's just 10 years older. That means I'm with that.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough. Okay, so you'd probably say he is someone who might be mixed race and he has very sharp facial features.
好，那在讲我们第二个男神之前呢，我们要讨论一下 Francis, you've lived in China for 10 years, right?
That's right.
那你觉得我们中国人是喜欢白皮肤还是黑皮肤？
That's a good question. Usually white, right? Usually white skin is more popular.
Yeah.
And I can see this guy's pretty white, isn't he?
他其实是有2个时期的，在比较早的时候呢，他是比较白的，然后呢，比较就是中后期的时候，他就比较黑，然后他其实是黑了的时候才变得 popular 起来。所以我们第二个，我想我讲到这里，大家可能都知道我讲的就是古天乐 Louis Koo。那么我们白皮肤，我们很多人说 your skin is really white, right? Can we say that?
You can, yeah, or you can say very pale. Another option is pale, white or pale.
How about fair?
You would say fair-skinned. Yes, you could say fair-skinned. And you can also use fair to describe someone's hair. Like if they have blonde hair or maybe quite light brown hair. You can say, he has fair hair.
就是一个人的头发颜色比较浅的时候，可能浅棕色或者是淡金色的时候，我们都可以用 fair hair， 然后这也可以来表达就是你的皮肤比较白。那 so we have the fair-skinned cool, and we also got the tanned cool, right?
Yeah.
就是 tanned 就是我们说的比较皮肤黑的时候的古天乐。然后，那么我们它其实白的时候啊，长得比较秀气啊。英文里面有没有关于秀气的表达呢？
I think probably you could say he's sort of mature, he's manly, he's like a little bit more rugged when he's older compared to when he's younger, and he looks a bit more, I think he looks a bit more innocent and more elegant and refined when he's younger. And yeah, a bit more manly when he's older.
所以是年轻的时候比较秀气的话，可以说 refined, elegant， 然后还有 innocent。然后比较老的，就是比较老了的时候呢，看起来有男人味儿，对吧？就是 manly。I think we also have a synonym for manly. Can we say masculine?
Masculine, yes. You can say he's very masculine, he's manly. And sometimes we can use the word masculine when we're describing like a lady who seems more sort of closer to a man, possibly. You might say she's kind of masculine. So it can be used in that situation as well, a very different situation.
I see， 就是说她身上有一些男性化的特征的时候，我们就是女性身上有男性化特征的时候，我们也可以说she's kind of masculine。好，那么我们现在到我们最后一个就是杨洋我们中国人呢就是会把它叫做就是这一类的男性，我们会叫做小鲜肉。我可能要跟你解释一下 Francis 什么叫小鲜肉，就是这种非常年轻的，然后外表看起来非常吸引人的这一种男明星，我们就叫他小鲜肉。If it's in direct translation, it would be little flesh meat.
Little fresh meat, right? He definitely couldn't say little fresh meat. You might call him like a young hunk or something like that. And of course, fresh meat has its own meaning as well, which is very different. It's like if you're going to university and it's your first year at university, some of the older students might call you fresh meat. They'll say, aha, here's the fresh meat.
所以 fresh meat 就是说你就是大一的一个年级新生，然后就是有一种任人鱼肉的感觉，就是可能别的师姐或者师兄呢都可以摆布你，或者是就是有点欺负你的那种感觉。
Indeed. Now, Sarah, we've looked at 3 guys that you chose. Shall we have a look at the 3 guys that I chose?
Yeah, of course.
All right, very good. So the first one is someone very different. Couldn't be more different to the 3 guys that you chose. This is Jason Momoa. And he's an actor, and he is famous for a few things. He was in Game of Thrones, one of my favorite TV shows. He's also Aquaman in the DC universe. And first of all, before we talk about kind of how we can describe him, what's your opinion about his look, his appearance, Sarah? What do you think?
我们现在在讲的是这个杰森莫玛。I think he looks kind of rugged, too big.
Yeah. What's your honest opinion? Come on, tell us what you think.
That's my honest opinion.
Too big. All right, yeah. He's cool though. Like this is, I think, where there's a big difference in the sort of the types of guys that are popular in China compared to popular in, let's say, in America or in some Western countries. Because this guy is considered to be extremely handsome. He isn't everyone's cup of tea, but he's like you said, Sarah, he's very rugged. He's got tattoos. He's got big muscles. He's kind of an alpha male. So he has a very particular style, but it's a style that many people like.
所以他其实就是看起来比较粗犷，然后呢，也是刚刚 Francis 提到了一个词叫 alpha male， 就是有点像老大的那种感觉，然后身上还有很多的这个纹身，我感觉真的是不是每个人都会喜欢的。
Number 2, yeah. So number 2 is a very different person And that's interesting, I think, because the three people we'll look at are all quite different. They all have their own style that's unique. And this is, speaking of style, this person is called Harry Styles. And he's famous as a singer mostly. He was in a band called One Direction. He's from England. What can you notice straight away, Sarah, in this photo that we're sharing of him?
I want to say he looks kind of gay to me.
Yeah. Well, as far as we know, he's not gay, but he has like the habit of like dressing sometimes in women's clothes as like a style thing, because he's very stylish and he likes to push the boundaries to try new things. And so there's a special word that can describe this kind of behavior and this look where it's sort of halfway between a man and a woman, sort of a little bit of both. And we call that androgynous, an androgynous style.
Androgynous, OK， 其实这个词呢，就是有点像雌雄同体的意思。然后它的那个 andro 其实是 male 的意思，然后 gyn 就是 women 的意思，所以呢，加起来就是雌雄同体。Can you spell that word for us?
I can. So it's A-N-D like and then it's R-O-G, I'm having to check actually, R-O-G-Y, and then it's N-O-U-S, androgynous. Androgynous. It's a tough word to spell. So
let's count this guy.
We'll go to see the last one. And this is one that, would you say of the three, he's the most famous in China, Sarah?
Yes, and I think he's the most handsome one that you've tried.
I was going to ask actually, yeah. But he's outside of your age range. Yeah, you said like up to about 50. He recently turned 60. I think he's about 61 now.
George Clooney, if it's him, I don't mind.
Yeah. You're a bit more flexible if it's George Clooney. So yeah, this is George Clooney, everyone. And he is an actor, and he does other things, but mostly we know him from acting. And I chose him because he's kind of classically handsome. He's got like what we call a square jaw, and he looks quite manly, but not like crazy manly the way that Jason Momoa is. And he's also a little bit older, and he has some grey hair. And so there's a special word we use for handsome older men who have grey hair, but they're still good looking, and Sarah would still accept them. And those people are called silver foxes. So you can say George Clooney is a silver fox.
Silver fox 呢，就是拿来形容这些年纪较大的，然后但是又很有魅力的男性。刚刚呢 ，Francis 讲到了，他就是有一个比较方的下巴 （square jaw），然后比较 manly， 有一点点 manly， 就是有一点男人味，但是又不太像刚刚我们讲的 Jason Momoa 太有男人味了，我受不了。然后呢，就还有年纪又比较大，我们就叫他们 silver foxes。
So that's George Clooney, and that kind of leads me to a couple of questions I have for you, Sarah. So, kind of in summary, what do you think are the facial features that are more popular in China? What makes a handsome guy in China?
I think maybe just a guy with a slim face, sharp facial features, and a clear jawline.
Okay, so it's quite a bit different to like in Western countries, right? Because as we mentioned with George Clooney, like a square jaw, a very strong jaw is quite popular, and beards are also very popular. And that's sort of leads me to my next question. What's the problem with beards? Why don't you like beards?
Because I think a lot of Chinese, I think Chinese
you know
that guys with a beard just look kind of old and unkept， 就是看起来有点老，然后有点不修边幅的感觉，你知道吗
？Okay, I can understand that. Recently, let me tell you this story, Sarah. Recently, I was in Switzerland on a holiday, and a little secret of mine is that I am 35 years old. And I was at a party, a dinner party, and one of the people there looked at me and said, how old are you, Francis? You must be, what, about 45, 46? And I thought, 45? And the problem is my beard, mostly. It's my beard makes me look older. And we have a phrase which is that a beard ages you by 10 years or more. So I kind of know what you mean, Sarah. It does make you look a little bit older.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
But I don't know. For now, I prefer my beard. I think I'm going to keep my beard as it is. So the last question I wanted to ask you then was about build. So build is like the style of your body, muscular or thin or what. What do you think is like the most popular build in China?
I think we also like guys with six-packed abs. 有6块腹肌当然是很好的 or V line 就是有人鱼线 but we don't want him to be too muscular and also we want him to be tall.
Everyone likes tall, right? That's like the demand of everyone in the world. So what's the problem with too muscular?
I think it can be a turn off. We just don't like guys that are too big. It can look like he will look kind of intimidating, I think.
Yeah, a little bit like Jason Momoa, right? He looks like pretty scary. He looks like he could kill you.
Yeah.
Well, I've certainly learned a lot. So thank you very much for all of your information, Sarah.
最后，我想以一个问题来结束我们今天的这个话题，就是我们今天讨论了6个男神，谁是你心目中的男神呢？你可以给我们留言，以及写下为什么。谢谢大家，
谢谢大家，拜拜，
拜拜。